Hello everyone, and I would like to greet you all in today's video. In this video, we will be learning about one of the very vital part of speech, that is adjectives. So let's start with definition. The word which qualifies means tells something more, okay, which describes, which actually adds some detail to some noun or pronoun is called an adjective. As you can see here, this man is actually noun, and this brave is actually adding some detail to this man, that the man was brave. So that is why this brave is an adjective and this man is noun. Likewise, in the next example, you can see that this some is also adding some detail to this noun, that is boys. Okay, some boy. 2 pens. How many pens? 2 pens. So these pens are nouns, and this 2 is actually adding some detail to this noun. That is why this 2 is an adjective. Now let's talk about the types of adjectives. Actually speaking, there are 8 types of adjectives, which can be as following. The very first type of adjective is proper adjective. These proper adjectives are actually framed or coined of a proper noun. Proper noun you might have read. Okay. So proper nouns when are extended further in order to coin a new word, then that new word that starts defining some noun, and then that new word is called proper adjective. As you can see, this India is actually proper noun. This Indian has been coined off from this Indian. That is why this Indian is a proper adjective. Likewise, England, English, Italy, Italian, Japan, Japanese. Okay. These proper adjectives are actually coined off from proper nouns. So that is why the rule remains same for them as well. And what is that rule? The rule is that always the very first letter of any proper noun or proper adjective as well is capital. Okay, so the very first letter of any proper noun or proper adjectives as well is always a capital letter. Now moving forward to the next kind of adjective, that is descriptive adjectives. Descriptive, as the name suggests, it describes, it actually denotes some quality, some description, some state, okay, of any noun or pronoun. For example, you can see this is a noun, kid, okay, and this kid is actually being prescribed. The quality of the kid is being told here, okay, that which kind of kid that was a brave kid. Likewise, boy. How was the boy? The boy was tall. Okay, so this tall is actually denoting some state, some prescription, some detail, some quality about the noun. Okay, now let's move to the third kind of adjective, that is demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrate means point something out from some crowd. Okay, so these demonstrative adjectives actually point out some noun or pronoun from some crowd. Okay, and they can be definite or indefinite. They actually demonstrate something. For example, you can see here, this man. Which man? This very man. Okay, the man. It's not fixed. That is why this the is indefinite demonstrative adjective. Okay, those boys. Which boys? Those boys. So this is definite. Okay, any book. This any is also indefinite because we don't know about which book we are talking about. Okay, before moving forward, let me tell you that some people do believe that only these, that, these, those, only these 4 words are demonstrative adjectives. But it is not so. Only these are the words which actually can be a demonstrative adjectives. Apart from these words, there is no such any other word which can be a demonstrative adjective. Only these words, a and the, this, that, these, those, yon, yonder, such, etc., etc. Only these words can only be demonstrative adjectives. Apart from these words, there is no word apart which can be a demonstrative adjective. So always keep this in your mind. Now let's jump to the fourth kind of adjective, that is possessive adjective. As the name suggests, possession, it is telling about some possession, some ownership. Okay, so these adjectives actually describe the ownership, the possession of a noun or pronoun. As you can see, this pen is a noun, so this my is actually defining this pen. So whose pen? My pen. I have the ownership of the pen. Your bag. Who has got the ownership or the possession of the bag? You have got. So your bag, your, my, his. Okay, these are possessive adjectives. This is very easy. Now let's move to the fifth part of adjective, that is quantitative adjective. As the name suggests, quantitative. So it has been coined off from a word quantity. So actually it denotes the quantity of a noun or pronoun. Okay, they tell us the amount of a noun or pronoun. Okay, so as you can see, all the boys. Okay, all of the boys, any bread, much difficulty, enough crowd. But while using these quantitative adjectives, there is a rule which said and must always be kept in our minds. And that rule is that whenever a noun will be used after a quantitative adjective, then that noun should and must always be singular. That noun after that quantitative adjective can't be plural. That should and must always be singular. And moreover, in addition to that, that noun should always be either a material noun or an abstract noun. This is a rule. Okay. Now let's quickly move to the sixth part of adjective, that is numeral adjective. As the name suggests, numeral adjectives. So numeral, it has been coined from numbers. So these adjectives actually denote or demonstrate the number of a noun. Okay. They can be definite or indefinite because the number can be both definite, unknown, and known as well. Further, these definite numeral adjectives can also be classified as cardinals or ordinals. Ordinals means those adjectives which actually represent orders. For example, first, second, last. Okay. And cardinals which represent actual numbers. 1, 2, 5, 50, 100, 5,000. Okay. So these are cardinals, and ordinals first, second, last, fifth, 50th. Okay, so these are ordinals. You can see in the example I have just mentioned these things, definite numeral adjectives, which can be classified further in two parts, which are ordinals and cardinals. Or cardinals denoting numbers and ordinals denoting orders. Indefinite numeral adjectives can be some, a few, in which actually the amount is unknown, unfixed. Okay, not fixed. Now let's move forward. The seventh adjectives kind is distributive adjectives. Distributive adjectives actually tell us that something has been owned, used, or possessed differently or separately. How separately or how differently something has been used by some noun. For example, you can see students had each a book. So each student has his own, okay, his own separate book. He could use either pen. He could use either this pen or that pen. Another example can be every man is mortal. So every man separately is mortal. Actually, they tell us that how the things, how the nouns have been used separately or differently. Last one is interrogative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives are actually those adjectives which ask a question or interrogate or inquire something about a noun. For example, you can see here, what book? What book are you talking about? Okay, which pen? One more thing, if I spoke like that, what is your book's name? Then this what got pronoun, not adjective. But if we add some noun just after the what, then that what will get interrogative adjectives. This is the main difference between adjective and pronoun. So what is pronoun as well, adjective as well. While using what, you should keep these things always in mind. So that's all we have got in the 8 kinds of adjectives. But a student asked me a question that what is an emphasizing adjective? Some books do mention some emphasizing adjectives. Actually, these emphasizing adjectives are always used after some possessive adjectives. If emphasizing adjectives will be used in the sentence or in the phrase, then that emphasizing adjective will be just after some possessive adjective. Emphasizing adjectives are actually used to emphasize, okay, to pressurize, to put some extra emphasis for that noun. Okay, for example, sit in your own chair. So own, your own chair. Your is possessive adjective, own is emphasizing adjective, and chair. This very pen, this very pen, this distributive, very, this is emphasizing. Okay, really speaking, they do not fall under the category of any kind of adjective. Okay, they are intensifiers, they are emphasizers. Okay, so these are the things that suddenly must be kept in your mind. Okay, so that's all we have got in this video. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you.